we want to? What you think about for the intro?
I think my mom's calling me.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. She's not. Bro, this show fucking sucks, Jase.
Who even watched this shit?
Wait. It gets better after the 27th season. Alright, let's go, those. So, on the snap, the episode begins.
1, 2, 3.
Well, what?
Get out. Get out.
What's up, guys? It's me, Jase Sanders, and my two gay dads!
Say, hey, welcome to the pilot episode of Kitchen Table Cable, a podcast all about kitchen table games, card games, board games, games in general. All here for your viewing pleasure.
Sure.
And welcome back to A wise man once said, the medium is the message. God fucking damn it. Tonight we witness the birth of something beautiful. Something where three gentlemen pool together to go on the greatest adventure of their lives. Welcome to Kitchen Table Cable. My name is Rafa.
My name is Derreck.
My name is Jase.
When Nicol Bolas killed Ugin, Tarkir was changed forever. I'm so tired. I'm Rafa.
You motherfucker.
I'm Rafa.
I'm Derreck.
And I'm Jase, and today we are talking about us. How we got into MDG, God.
You know what? We're going to keep going with that. We have to keep going.
God, fuck.
We have to keep
right,
going, Jase.
Okay, what are we talking about?
We're just introducing ourselves, right? And Rafa, you can start us off, right? Right, you know.
You know what,
Why
Jase?
do you keep saying right?
Right. It's
Bro,
the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to
right?
do.
It's the right thing to do. Welcome
Right.
to Kitchen Table
Welcome.
Cable. This is the first episode of our podcast, and as Jase put it, it's an episode about us, getting to know us and how we play Magic the Gathering. We decided to go bring a few of our decks, or at least our personal favorite decks, a few of the cards from them, and tell
Jase
you...
only has one.
I got like 3, fucker.
Anyway.
Anyways, we're going to be talking about our favorite decks, and a few cards from them telling you basically how we play Magic and how we started to play. Derreck, I believe you are going first out of this group.
Wait, hold on. That's not
what-
That's not
hold
the
on.
order in the notes.
Hold on, I don't have my glasses,
The
I
deck
can't
text
see.
at the end.
It is?
Yeah. We're just gonna start by
right, let's
introducing
just
how we
restart.
got into the Magic. Yeah, let's just restart.
You know what, Jase, tell me. You're the youngest in our group.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Is actually go in order of.
Okay.
youngest to oldest. Okay, cool. Jase.
How'd
How'd you get into Magic, Jase?
Alright, well, I first started when my uncle came over to my house, and, you know, he got this big old tub, big old clear Tupperware, and there was, like, maybe 200, 300 cards just loose in there, and he dumped them all out onto the carpet, and he was like, here.
And they were Pokemon, and that's the end of the story.
They were Magic cards.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay,
Anyway.
so he dumps them all over the floor, right? And I see this badass fucking worm shit, and I'm like, yes. So I take that, and I'm like, how do I play this game, Uncle Johnny? And he explained. You know, it's been like that ever since.
And that was 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that, Jay?
That was
What's that,
6.5 years ago.
6.5 years ago?
Wow.
6.5
Okay.
years? Okay. That's a long time.
I have been playing Magic a similar amount, I believe. 2013 was when I started playing. 2012.
10 years? Okay.
10
So
years,
about
yeah.
10 years.
Okay.
I started playing in school, really. Would have been right before high school, right out of middle school, and I knew most of my friends played Magic, and I had no interest until all of my friends started playing Magic. So I said, you know what, teach me how to play. And they kind of did, but it was really at church, actually, in the youth group, where I learned how to play Magic. The youth minister, taking a whole different approach. He had played Magic when the game came out, and
Rafa, those are the Devil's cards.
I know, but they brought us all together.
Nice.
And that's where I learned how to play, and I've been playing ever since.
Okay.
What about you, Derek?
I'm old as shit, right? So I've been playing since 1999.
Jesus
Tried it.
Christ.
1999. Yeah.
The towers were still there.
Sixth grade, right? Yeah, basically, right? But sixth grade, I met a friend of mine, middle school. He introduced me to the game. Him and his dad played all the time. He introduced me to the game, and that was around like 6th edition Portal, stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. I had played Pokemon. We had Pokemon Band at my middle school, right? By
Oh, you
trading,
told me that story.
yeah, by trading cards and playing, and that's all we did. With everybody didn't skip all their work. Recess was all Pokemon everywhere, so they banned Pokemon, right? And so I still like to play and collect, and introduced me to Magic, and yeah, ever since it's been kind of smooth sailing. Way too long, off and on. Sold my collection a few times, got back into the game and stuff. But
And now
Invasion was the first block. I bought my own pack of cards. I bought a tournament deck, and I thought it was a deck, and I played with it, and it had 20 lands in it out of 75 cards, and it was terrible.
that sounds like early Magic.
But yeah, so 1999. But it's a long ass time.
1999. Good year. Good year.
Yeah.
Older than me.
Yeah,
I was literally
way older than
not
me.
alive then.
I'm like a grandpa.
Yeah, you're like
You are
you're our grandpa.
a grandpa.
And now there's only 2 on the show. I quit.
Speaking of quitting, Jase, what's next on our list of things to
Well, we're supposed to talk about what we like about MTG, but honestly, I don't really feel like liking anything. This game fucking sucks.
do? A hot take, Jase.
There go all of our sponsors.
Wizards, we don't mean it.
We apologize. Oh, we didn't go over our sponsor. Wow, it's too late now.
We can throw it at the beginning.
Oh.
Let's just record it separately.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's gonna work out fine.
We'll cut something.
That's true. You fucked up the intro 18 times. So.
That wasn't me, motherfucker. Oh my god.
Okay, so yeah, so what? Obviously, we talked about how we got into Magic and everything.
Mhm.
So what do we want to do with the channel? What do we want to do with Kitchen Table Cable?
We really just want to interact with each other and interact with our community, be that our community online or our community in person at our local game stores here and around Texas. What about you, Derek? What do you think?
I mean, I want to get into everything. I love games, card games, board games. I mean, every card game I've played, basically. We even got into Flesh and Blood for a little bit, which is it's fun.
Yeah.
Played Pokemon a lot. Never really played Yu-Gi-Oh because too many words on those cards.
I mean,
And
Magic's
then if
getting
you
there.
stop taking
Yeah, we're getting there, right? But but yeah. So card game, even regular card games. I grew up. We played Canasta. All that.
Oh
shit,
yeah.
Right. That's what we did on my Christmas every year, Thanksgiving. That's all we did was like play Canasta, Skip-Bo.
That's how I got good at shuffling because I did play Magic.
Yeah, right.
So my teachers would have regular decks of playing cards. We would play poker and 21 all that.
Yeah, and so shuffling 4 decks together for Canasta, I'm like, oh, this is super easy for the shuffle Magic cards some of the time. But yeah, board games especially. I love board games. They're amazing. I want to get a segment on the channel. Maybe
some Catan, baby. Ooh.
yeah, and then we can get some guests. And
There's
stuff
been
on
a
the
lot
show
of
that-
Catan going on in our lives right now.
I-
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'll give Jason a minute to talk about it. I also like tabletop RPGs as well. I know Jason and I are big fans of Dungeons and Dragons. Derek, not so much.
I played once. In high school. It was me and one other person, and obviously we didn't play the game correctly.
We're gonna fix that, Derek. We're gonna fix that.
We'll show you, Derek.
We'll show you how it's done. What about you, Jason?
So I mean, yeah, I'm definitely down to learn.
I mean, I'm sort of in it for the ride. I'm really here for the conversation. That's something I'm big on. If you know me,
He's
and
just here for the
really-
bread.
That's messed up.
We feed him like a duck.
No wait, though y'all did feed me before this.
This is true.
That was some good food, man. Guacamole and queso and stuff like that. Hombre or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, hungry in Spanish.
Oh,
Anyway, okay.
yeah, man. So
So that's what you want to do? Okay.
You just want to eat. I like it.
I like it.
I like it. Eat those views.
So let's talk about our schedule, content schedule.
What do we got, Derek?
what do we got? there?
Main podcast episode coming out every Thursday. Right, every Thursday, Kitchen Table Cable podcast episode, both on YouTube and all the podcasts.
Anywhere you can find a
Anywhere you
podcast,
find a podcast.
it will most likely be there.
Yep. And then gameplay video every Monday, at least every Monday. We do. Currently, we're doing Commander League.
Yep.
So we'll upload a league game every Monday. Talk about that.
And we will tell you all about that later in another episode.
Yeah, we have a podcast episode designed just for the league. Talk about the league, go everything. But other than that, we'll release a bunch of different random content throughout the channel and all over everywhere. And now let's see, check the description below. We got Instagram and TikTok.
And you can find those socials here on the screen as well. Most of them are run the same, except for I don't think we have a Twitter. Twitter is going through something right now. So
Sorry. It's X.
it's X.
Right.
Oh, that's right. It's
Oh.
X now.
It's X.
It's X now.
X.
What do I
So
do if I
it's-
want to watch some X videos?
It's somebody's X. Does that No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut that part out because
Hey,
I need to clear my throat.
we gotta clip it. We gotta clip it.
We can clip it.
All right.
We'll
Just
fix
like
it.
they
We'll fix it in
flipped
post.
my wiener as a baby.
Oh shit!
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
What?
No.
What?
No wieners.
No
No
wieners.
clipping wieners. Okay.
Not this time.
All right.
Last
So-
time.
What's next, Derek? What's next, Jase?
Well,
Deck tech.
deck tech,
Do
baby.
a quick little deck tech.
Yeah.
One of our decks.
We each brought one of our own personal favorite deck, and Derek will be starting us off with his Arixmethes Karuga companion deck. Tell us more about it, Derek.
So, Arixmethes is cool. Super interesting whenever I first saw him. I love the fact that he's not a creature all the time. It's fantastic. Right? Fantastic. I mean, it's a 4-mana 12/12. It's a big boy.
And you
Comes
got
in.
that sweet Marching Machines art.
Yeah, very pretty.
Put that up on screen.
We'll put it up on the screen
It,
somewhere.
it will be. And those of you who are listening only, go to YouTube and
Sorry,
look at these pretty cards.
I'll describe it in detail. So there's blue and a green.
Oh, dude.
I
There's
hope-
some,
I hope
there's
there's some
line.
other colors.
There's-
And
Because
it's
there's
like
that's
some
a
line.
cheating.
and it's like a constellation. Anyway, yeah. So super interesting. Comes in as a land. You know, I like that's kind of nifty. A lot of people play it like Sea Monster Tribal, stuff like that. A lot of it, not really my forte. But a couple cards that I want to talk about. The whole reason I built the deck is this card here called Wild Pear. Pulled it in the first league we ever did, whenever we did Pack League. And essentially, it's an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, I get to search up a creature with the same total power and toughness out of the deck and put it straight into play. And I thought that was super sweet. Never got it to work. Played it in a league, basically the whole league. Got it out like once or twice and never really did anything. So I was like, I need to find a deck to make this work because it's super interesting. I don't really play green, right? And I was talking to Jase earlier. I don't play green. Green's not my forte.
Do you have a specific number in mind? Is your deck built around a specific number?
No. I kind of went through, and because it's a pod deck.
Mhm.
We'll go over that here in a second. Because it's a pod deck, it's kind of all over the place. Obviously, the traditional pod lines are in there where you go, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up the mana curve. So you have a bunch of different power and toughness throughout the deck. There's no, I think the highest saturation is like 8 or 9 or something like that. But there's just a mixture of stuff all over the place. I like to, obviously, when we're playing casually, and this is one of my casual decks. I generally tend to build on the stronger side. That's just kind of what happens with more knowledge and stuff. That's just what happens, right?
This is
But
true.
so I try to tone it down in a way, and the easiest way in this deck that I can tone it down and fit the pod is I can, based on everybody's decks and stuff, I can pod into stuff that's either stronger or less. What's going on,
I have
right?
it. And then you have those big finishers at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go pot into a coma when everybody's playing a precon.
I got
and,
you.
And then the game's over, right? But so there's a bunch of different stuff you can get, do different things with it.
And actually, this card is, I think it's sort of worthy of its own podcast per se, because there's a lot of cards like Wild Pear that you build your whole deck around, and I feel like that's a really interesting concept that we might go further into in the future. All right, Derek.
Yeah.
What's the next card we're going to talk
agree.
about?
I would agree. So, Baldur's Gate pre-release card. One of my favorite cards from the set. Super cute little owlbear cub. He's friggin' cute, man. It's awesome. Its ability is great, though. So 3 mana, 3/3. Whenever he attacks, if somebody controls 8 or more lands, I just get to go fucking look at the top 8 cards of my deck and put a big ass beater into play, and it fits the theme.
I'm into it, yeah.
Yeah, man,
Right.
especially
Yeah,
with
that's
the coma
the
in the deck. That's
Mother's
some
coming.
bullshit, Derek.
Mama's coming.
Mama's coming.
Mama's coming.
Mama's coming.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, put a coma straight into play. Put a Terrastodon straight into
Terrastodon.
play.
Nasty Terrasty, baby.
Good old
Yeah. Right.
Nasty Trusty.
Right. Next card, obviously, Birthing Pod. We've got all the pod effects that you can get in blue and green. I've got Birthing Pod.
Prime Speaker.
I've got Prime
Pretty
Speaker.
sure they're all in
Zagana,
blue and green, aren't they?
Zagana.
Alright.
Um,
There's Fiddlebender. I know.
Well,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
artifacts,
but
but-
I think there's 1 or 2 of them that I can't play because of mana cost. I think because I have Pod. Yeah,
Does
I can't play
Karuga say-
Neoform.
You can't
I
play
can't
Neoform,
play. I
that's
can't
right.
play Neoform because it costs 2.
Mhm.
I think that's pretty much the only one that it's really missing, and so I just can't play Neoform. But I've got Pod. I've got the Vivian. I've got the Vanifar.
All
I've got
that
the
same
Eldritch
stuff.
Evolution.
And if you didn't hear it earlier, he is playing a Karuga companion.
Yeah, so every non-land in the deck has to cost 3 or more. Right. So,
So that's
no
what we-
Soul Ring,
Oh,
Fair deck.
Mhm.
Fair deck, right? It's the
I've-
best card in Commander.
You
We're
know, I've
not
actually
playing
cut a lot of soul rings from my
it.
decks.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Just because they don't need them. Either they're way too.
I don't play the Niv Mizzet either. But
I think in my elves deck I don't play soul ring because
Yeah.
everything is a soul ring already.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
But now I don't have to worry about it. So, yeah.
this is another one of those
Favorite-
build-around cards.
Yeah. Favorite card in the deck, though, is this terrible Augmenter Pugilist.
Oh man, that card sucks. Why are you playing that, Derek?
Yeah, this card sucks. The back side of it is amazing, though, and I usually just flip it over and leave it like that. Echoing Equation is a spell, sorcery. Choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of it. And it's not legendary. They're not. The copies aren't legendary. It's legendary.
It's
So
Sakashima's
turning all my Coma tokens
Yeah,
into Comas.
It's Takashima's will.
Yeah, Sakashima's will basically.
Without the steel thing. But
Without the
Yeah.
steel, yeah. But yeah, it's fantastic, super fun. Like I said, if I have a bunch of Coma tokens, I can turn them into Comas. Obviously, turning everything into my commander, the 12/12 is kind of fucked up too.
does it ignore the legendary rule?
Yeah,
Oh
it
wow.
says they're not
Wow.
legendary
I
if
did
the
not know
target's
that.
legendary. Yeah,
That's fucking sweet.
it's sweet.
That's silly.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's sweet. It's sweet. That's one of the main finishers. Like it, again, turning all of my, 3/3 Coma tokens or, a bunch of random creatures in there because I have tech creatures in there. You play stuff like Rex Age and stuff like that. Obviously, the counterspell, the creature counterspell stuff, right?
You get the
Turning
snake.
those into actual creatures
Mhm.
is pretty cool.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and you can always pod them away. I mean,
yeah, that's the idea, right? That's kind of where the value's at. Where you play stuff like that. Voracious Great Shark is one of my favorite
Oh, I
ones.
love the shark.
Right, and then you can pod your Great Shark after countering a spell. You can pod it into a 6-drop. It's freaking great,
Mhm.
right?
It's a way to play Craterhoof without having Craterhoof in your deck.
Yeah, there's that too, right? Kind of plays the same role. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Now talk about this card, Craterhoof Behemoth. No.
Craterhoof Behemoth. There's no Craterhoof Behemoth in the deck. Nothing
No.
like that. But last card I want to talk about is a new one from Lord of the Rings. Last March of the
Oh,
Ents.
dude, this
That's
card
so
is
busted.
gross.
Is busted. This card is busted. I read this card and I was like, this is the perfect card for the deck. Right? The perfect card for the deck. It's 8 mana sorcery. We're big mana. We do a bunch of stuff. Right? 8 mana for me is generally turn 6 minimum. I can do turn 5. I have a few ways. I have some 3-drops in the deck that cheat mana costs. Elvish Spirit Guide is a 3-drop, but really it's just 1 mana at any time. Rift Sower, stuff like that. But yeah, so 8 mana can't be countered, which is fantastic, right? You don't want your 8 mana spells to get countered. But can't be countered. Draw cards equal greatest toughness among creatures you control. So if my commander is a creature, I get to draw 12 cards, which is busted. If my commander is not a creature, generally I'm drawing 6 to 8.
Still, that's
Still good.
what is
Generally, I'm drawing 6 to 8. Minimum, Karuga, I'm drawing 5. Right, 8 mana draw 5 cards isn't out of the realm of normal.
I mean, what is that? Blue Sun Xena. So
Yeah, right. Basically, yeah. So it's fantastic, and then I get to put any number of creature cards from my hand on the battlefield.
Oh,
And this-
what?
Oh, hold
and
on.
this-
hold
Wait a
on.
minute.
Wait a minute.
And this deck is majority creatures, right?
I
Obviously.
got you. That's where most of your value is pod and
being a
etc.
pod
Yeah.
deck, right? Yeah. So last time I played it, we were playing a game at the shop and stuff, and yeah, I think I drew 6, and I put 9 creatures into play. Right.
Wild.
Dude.
And yeah,
But
and
did
it
you
was,
win?
and it was we definitely won.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you
Right.
lose with this deck.
I lost once. I finally lost once with the deck out of the dozen or so games that I've played. Again, I can tailor it towards the pod. But generally, what ends up happening is I match everybody kind of what's going on, and then one person tries to go off, and I go, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, now I'm just going to kill you. Now we're not going to hold back, kind of thing. But yeah, so just kind of tailor it towards the pod. But yeah, I mean, I put 9 creatures into play. One of them was a old Gnawbone.
Oh, was I in that game?
One of them, I don't know, maybe.
remember.
Another
I don't
one was the
remember.
archetype, right? Because we run the archetype combo. So another one was the archetype.
I've been got by Old Gnawbone so many times.
And so yeah, no, this card's busted. Absolutely, I don't understand how they printed it. Lord of the Rings obviously
What is it? It's an 8 mana?
introduced some busted cards. Yeah, I mean it's 8 mana, can't be countered. It's a lot, but yeah, it's kind of gross, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I guess it's supposed to be a finisher. So
And, yeah, it's right. It's basically a finisher.
I mean, in Commander, that's
That in the equation, I generally only cast for finishers. Don't generally cast them for value. Wild Pair I would cast for value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pod and stuff you run for value. There's a decent amount of stuff for value. I like the other Vivian that kind of does a wild bear imitation.
Oh man, I love that movie.
Right,
Monsters
that one's
Advocate.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's cool too. Right, obviously you make 3 threes, but like if I play, minus or whatever, and you play something that costs 8, and I go get something that costs 7, like
Yeah.
it's pretty gross.
Alright, man.
But yeah, so I mean, essentially this is the deck. It's blue green pod. Again, we run a lot of tech cards, right?
Mhm.
All the counterspell creatures that I can run, Rex Sage and those types of effects, and yeah, we just move up the chain, pod through a bunch of stuff, or I throw a free from the real on a Arixmethes and make infinite green mana, and
Well, no, you
we
can
go to town.
Oh
No, with Arixmethes it's only infinite green, yeah. And we do.
If it's
we do something
Penman's
that way.
Aura, it's infinite mana.
Yeah, I do have Penman's Aura in there too. So,
I like it.
but yeah, it's fun. Like I said, green's not normally my thing. I don't generally play green. I'm a Grixis player.
Mr. Grixis.
Neither do I, honestly.
Yeah, right. I'm Mr. Grixis. But it's a lot of fun. It's one of the decks that I've had around for the longest time. Obviously, it's gone through a lot of different changes. But yeah, I mean, super fun, super casual, or super competitive. Obviously, no CEDH, but it can be on the higher end of casual game.
I got you.
High power casual, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Who wants to go next?
All right, well, I think I'll head on to the next one. I have brought my 5-card commander deck. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit!
Shit.
Oh, I stole your box.
Yeah,
I stole it. It's
That's
mine
okay.
now. You can't have it back.
we'll cut all this out in post.
What do you mean, cut it out in post? This is post.
This is post.
This is post.
This is
bro.
post.
There's
Post
no
Malone.
cutting in post.
Post
Ah.
Malone, baby.
Not
my hair.
Not this time. When we were talking about our favorite decks, it took me a while because I have a lot of decks. I like to build a lot.
One's
and
right there.
yeah, we are in our studio, which is inside my studio, aka it is my studio. But it took me a little bit to find the deck that I liked the most, and I settled on. I didn't really settle. It was a hard choice, but I chose my Meria Scholar of Antiquities deck. This is most people know her as Gruul Urza, and it pretty much is that. I went the Cheerios route, so the deck plays a lot of 0 mana artifacts. Some of them don't really do anything. Some of them do. Like I've got Paradise Mantle. Try to find one that kind of best suits. Yeah, the Secret Lair art.
That's
Very
awesome.
good. In the original list, and if you'll check out our Moxfield lists as well, you'll see that I have sideboarded all the fast mana, and that's just because I do own it. It's just in my CDH deck right now. So Meria has been stripped of her fast mana, but slowly but surely replacing it. But a lot of cards like Paradise Mantle, a lot of 0 mana artifacts that don't do anything
Really do anything.
unless Meria's on the field.
Yeah.
After that, she turns them into Mox Emeralds, and then card draw after that.
Zernor, sack all your lands anyway.
Exactly.
Oh,
You know what?
you don't need
All-
lands.
all of
I've
them.
seen him do that
Uh,
before.
Speaking of lands, the deck only runs, I think the current count right now is 16 lands.
16 lands.
16 lands, and the
Ooh.
reason why is because the win condition, the main win
You and
condition,
your dumb Charbelcher.
is Goblin Charbelcher. Those of you who play Modern know what this card is, but those of you who don't, it's a 4 mana artifact. It says pay 3 and tap it. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card. It deals damage equal to the number of non-land cards revealed this way. If it was a mountain, it deals double that damage.
Yep.
So there's a few mountains
sucks,
in the
though.
deck. It's bad.
It's bad.
Unless
Well,
you're.
I mean, the last game you played it, I think I took 3.
It dealt like
and
7
then-
damage
and
that
then-
whole game.
And then 5. and then 2 to somebody else.
That's true. This deck was also one of my league decks
Yeah.
a couple leagues ago, and the main win condition for that, and it still is with a secondary win condition. It's less fun, but is Aetherflux Reservoir.
It's a good card.
When you
It's a good card.
cast 10 0 mana artifacts in a turn, and then can cast 10 more
Yeah.
off the top of your library, Aetherfluxing someone becomes real very quick.
Real dead.
Real
fast.
Gaining
So
a lot of life. And like I said, there are a lot of do-nothing artifacts, but most of the artifacts that are left in the deck do things, either on their own or work with the deck, like Traxos, Scourge of Krug.
I like Traxos.
I like
Yeah,
Traxos.
interesting.
Meria
that's cool.
says tap a non-token artifact to make a green, and Traxos untaps himself when you cast a historic spell. So every time I cast those 0 mana artifacts, he untaps himself. I can make a lot of green mana, or I can use him. What I usually use him for is tapping him and another artifact to keep exiling cards at the top of my library to keep
But
impulse
that reminds
drawing.
me of the elf.
Oh
So,
yes.
well,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, the
Wrist
one mana,
It's a one mana 2/2.
1 mana 2/2 doesn't untap when you cast a green spell. You
Oh,
untap
Nettle
it.
Sentinel.
There it
Nettle
is.
Sentinel.
Yeah. Pretty much, he's
You
a
should
Nettle
do
Sentinel in
combo
this
stuff,
deck.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And last card I brought was Recross the Paths. Jace wanted me to talk about this one because I don't know if he's ever seen it, but
Yeah, Clash is fucking weird, man.
Clash is
way,
weird.
way before I was born.
Basically what this
Okay.
does is it reveals cards from the top till I get a land, and then I can do it again if I win the Clash. The Clash doesn't really mean anything, but basically if there are really no lands left in my deck, I can stack my deck and then Charbelcher somebody.
Yeah.
Most of the time I use
like
it as a rampant growth that stacks the bottom of my library.
I mean, that one game, I saw you win a Clash like 3 times.
Yeah. I was like Aetherflux. It was Wandering Archaic on top. But the rest of the deck, if it's not an artifact, it's a card that gets lands out of the deck, like Sylvan Scrying or Crop Rotation.
Yeah.
Getting lands out of there, so I keep those mountains, and I have my other utility lands to help with colors and everything.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like playing against this deck.
This deck, yeah,
This deck is bullshit.
pretty much a storm deck, and it's
definitely bullshit.
once its wheels get turning, it's kind of unfun to play again.
Fucking
Sometimes it's
solitaire,
unfun
dude.
to play because it's just like
I
reveal cards, and then
yeah, I don't necessarily mind that aspect of it. But
It's when it
comes out of nowhere.
yeah that
It comes out of nowhere.
And
You're like,
sometimes,
okay, cool. I have 1 or 2 more turns, and you go, no,
no.
you don't.
Sometimes it does come out of nowhere. Other times I set it up and then it does nothing. It's a coin flip with this deck.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's true,
even
too.
even in League when it was Aetherflux based, it was a coin flip of just will I brick and hit like 10 lands off the top, or will I, just keep going forever and ever.
Right.
Yeah. It's
I
sad
can,
as
I
fuck
can see that. Yeah.
when Meria gets lightning bolted because then he just like can't do anything.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
If it's on my turn, it's fine because I can just float a bunch of mana and recast her. If it's not on my turn,
Yeah.
That's why all the fast mana,
Because
Jewel Lotus and everything is in
generally, the extra mana doesn't really the tax doesn't really do much
No,
when you have
I
the
think
option,
the
especially in response to her to float a bunch of mana.
Yeah, the last game I played, they killed her 3 or 4 times, and I was able to just cast her again
Yeah,
right after because it was always on my turn.
Yeah.
So
That's the way to stop it. Kill it on not
kill
your
it
turn.
on not my turn because then I have no mana. I have a Delph's Cone. Do you know what Delph's Cone does?
No.
Me
I don't
neither.
remember what it does.
I have no idea what it does.
It's a 0 mana artifact.
It
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. One thing Derek didn't talk about his deck. His deck has a lot of cool arts, foils in there as well.
Yeah.
That the Karuga is really pretty. Is it Halo foil?
It's
Just
Halo foil.
It's Halo
Yeah.
foil,
it's
baby.
good. I'm a little bougie for art, man.
I know.
I like that's why this game is so expensive.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's to an extreme. Obviously, I like one of the main things I like about like the Pokemon TCG, and people are talking about it on Reddit and stuff recently. Is like you can buy like a tier 1.5 deck and be competitive for like $100, $150. You can't do that in Magic.
No.
You can't do that in Magic. But even to take it to another level, like Commander, you could get a decent Commander deck for. I mean,
$50.
my Arixmethes deck you could probably build for $100.
That's about the average of a commander deck.
For the most of it, right? Because it doesn't have any of the super expensive stuff. It's casual.
Yeah, at least for
don't have
someone
any of the
playing
big rocks.
like they've been playing for a little bit, they have a collection.
Yeah,
So
right.
the average commander deck is about $100.
Until I start getting into pretty arts and shit like that, and then I spend way too much money. I'm like, oh, this card's 50 cents, but the pretty one is $16.
There you go. No, yeah, this deck went through a challenge. I got the textured foil.
Yeah.
The stained glass foil, but 2, because she's the Scholar of Antiquities, I made a challenge for myself to play as many retro cards as I could.
I like it.
So Brothers War was a big help
Yeah.
with getting
with
most
all
of
the
my
retro-
artifacts
I love that
retro.
set, dude.
Art, yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, some of the dinky artifacts I play have only been printed
Yeah, I was
like
gonna say, don't.
within the last 5
Don't
years and
this.
don't. But a lot of them, there's a lot of do nothing artifacts from back then that I need to get my hands on that are like $4 for no reason other than their reserve
Just because
list.
they're old, right? Just
Yeah.
because they're old. Yeah. Yeah.
But that is the big challenge with this deck is just finding all the antiquities and then winning. And that
She's the master of antiquities.
Scholar.
Scholar of antiquities. You should only play cards from antiquity.
Oh no.
No.
Do you know how bad those cards are?
Ugh.
I do. That's the point.
Well, that'll do it for me. That'll do it for my favorite deck.
All right, Jase. What one deck do you own? Did you bring for us today?
Shut up, Derreck. Guys, this is a really unconventional deck, but one I've cherished for a while. It's gone through
For a week.
But I was saying for a while, Lord of the Rings just came out like 4 days
I
ago.
don't fucking know, man.
Okay, it's been like a month.
It's been like a month.
It's been like a
I've
month.
had this deck
a
for a
little
month.
over a
I'll be honest with you. I take
like a
apart decks and put them together like
every day.
twice a week, dude.
I mean, since you built this one, you built like 6 other decks and took them apart.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
But
But
seriously,
really,
I mean,
really.
honesty is the best policy, Jase.
honesty is the best policy. I mean,
I
they're
do
gonna
do that a
roast
lot.
you.
They're gonna roast me,
Somebody's
man.
gonna roast
I'm
you.
gonna roast you.
I'm gonna go in the comments and roast them.
That's gonna be messed up.
I'm gonna make a new account. It's gonna be like
He's got
my
70 ultimate
username's gonna
accounts.
be roastjace.
roastjace.com, man.
All right, what you got?
I got a Sisay deck, but it's not a very
Oh,
conventional
God.
Sisay deck.
Sisay.
Ah, come on, man. It's not the Sisay deck that you think of. It's not a legendary tribal deck. It is, in fact, a mass deck. Now, what is a mass? It's a rather obscure mechanic. It's not really.
That we saw a month ago.
That we saw a
That we
month
saw
ago.
a month ago,
But,
and 4, 5 years ago, and
Yeah.
once before that.
Was War of the Spark 5 years ago?
no way.
No,
Actually,
War of the Spark was
2019.
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
4 years ago, dude.
3 was it 2019?
It was 2019.
So it's 4 years ago, and
Wow.
before that was
4 years
Amonkhet.
ago.
And
There was
so-
no mass in Amonkhet.
Yes, there was.
No, there was not.
There was not.
No, are you sure?
No.
No, that's a Spark thing.
That's a War of the Spark thing.
Oh.
There were zombies in Amonkhet and Hour
I
Devastation.
swear, I thought there were some mascots.
No,
I am
they
playing-
are the same zombies. They
Yeah.
are
Maybe
the
that's what- maybe
Lazotep
that's why I get
plated
confused.
boys, but
Yeah, maybe that's why I get confused. I know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, 'cause I know that.
Amonkhet lore was kind of cool actually.
Yeah. I liked it a lot, especially the whole bubbled city
This
thing.
isn't a lore channel. Move on.
All right.
Next time on Kitchen.
So, I was like, okay, well, I want a 5-color deck. And I was like, what can I do with a 5-color deck that's not just
Anything.
slapping
Oh,
slapping
sorry.
a bunch of shit into the deck, right?
You do pipe though, you can literally do anything.
Yeah,
into
you-
that.
But you just play all the best stuff in a 5-color
That's
deck.
5 color good stuff. That's
5-color
Fine.
good stuff, but I didn't want to do that. So what I came
All
up
right,
with,
we're now gonna call you Ferris. Shout out to Ferris. All he does is play good stuff.
Tell us, Jase. What
All right, Jason, what you got?
what shenanigans you got
this
for
is
us?
in a mass deck. So the goal is to make a big old army and then swing and kill people with said big army. So the
Pretty
first
cut
card
and
we're
dry.
going to talk
Like
about
it.
today is really great at setting it up, and that is Sauron the Dark Lord. It is a
Wow.
6-mana creature, 3
We
generic
went there
mana,
immediately.
Grixis.
Jase was like, here's a little obscure unknown card from a little set.
From us.
The mythic, the
The
7
mythic
mana
rare.
mythic
It's-
Sauron
It's 6 mana.
It's one of
Get it
one
right.
of the most iconic.
characters
Characters
in
in
all the fictions.
all the fiction.
And a really busted card.
Really busted card. Yeah, this card is nasty. So what does it do? Well, it's a 7/6 legendary creature, Avatar Horror, and it's got ward, sacrifice a legendary artifact or
Sorry,
creature.
were we supposed to read through literally all of the cards in the deck? I thought we were just gonna show them up on the screen.
He can. I mean, I also
Okay,
didn't know he
okay.
had ward, so.
Yeah.
Oh
he's-
yeah, is ward like discard a card?
No,
No, it's sacrifice a
sacrifice
legendary
a legendary
artifact
creature
or
or
creature.
artifact. It
He's
has to be
basically
legendary.
hexproof.
It's basically
Basically.
hexproof. Yeah.
And the main part that I care about for this card is whenever an opponent casts a spell, amass Orcs 1.
Powerful.
Which the last game we played, literally nobody did anything to him.
It was like a 33,
And it's-
33.
Yeah. Fucking.
It-
I had a
literally-
hardened scales in play, like, bro.
Literally a mana
It
gorger
was
hydra.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge.
Nuts.
And then the other stuff is sort of relevant. Whenever an army deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts me, and whenever the ring tempts me, I can discard my hand and draw 4 cards.
Alright,
So,
that's
I
busted.
don't. I,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
That's
busted.
kind of nice.
If I run out of gas, I can swing for somebody for like 35 and then get in hand.
Oh, also
Only
while you're
35.
dying, I'm gonna discard my hand and draw 4 cards.
Yeah, man.
You know, I'll take 33, Jase.
All right.
I'll take 33 so you can wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So-
else you got?
This is a discussion we had all the time, and the reason the deck is not just Sauron, and one of the reasons
Yeah,
one of the reasons is this
Yep.
card, Tenet, Vizier of Knock the Moon.
This
So
card,
I fucking love this card, dude.
in
Oh my
this deck,
God.
it's really
And this
good.
deck is busted, but it's
Okay.
so
Anywhere
bad.
else.
Come on. It's I don't want to hear it.
Nah,
It's
so bad.
it's a 2-mana 2/2 legendary creature, human cleric. At the beginning of combat on my turn, target creature token gets +1/+1 and can't be blocked this turn. And then it's got Embalm for 5, which
We don't
means-
care about embalm.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can.
I don't think you've ever embalmed.
No, I bombed him
I
for
think
it.
it- I think
If
it
he get
was.
if he gets
I think it's
removed,
once, yeah.
it's good to bring him back. But basically, it's 2 mana. You have a 36/36 unblockable.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Seems
I
pretty
like
good.
it.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
Especially when you
it.
have that one big token.
yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
right.
Sisay can tutor him out really pretty.
That's true. I
really
think she
He's
can do it.
legendary,
Yeah.
That's true.
She
Yeah.
just needs
She just needs one more power.
Yeah, one more power.
Oh.
So the next card we're talking about, this is probably one of the biggest orc generators in the deck, or a mass generators in the deck, and that is
Go.
Saruman,
Oh.
the White Hand. So it's a 4-mana avatar wizard. It's a 2/5. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, amass Orcs X, where X is that spell's mana value,
This
and
is,
then goblins and orcs you control have Ward 2.
this is also one of the cards that just never gets removed, and it
It just sits there.
No, they
man.
just leave it.
It just sits
Yeah.
there.
and
it
it
just
protects
sits
the
there.
orc too. Like,
Yep.
yeah, but I mean, this deck, the version have together now has been like kind of spell slingery, like Bring to Light and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And
I
he's
like
just
Bring to Light, yeah.
like he's one of the best pieces of the deck because you cast like 3-4 spells and oh no, I have a 20/20 and it's attacking you unblockable and then I get to dump my hand.
I'm into it.
I'm
into
into
I
it.
like it.
Well, as much as we rag on Jace for this, I really like this deck. It's,
I will agree. As much as we rag on Jase for the decks that he builds, I mean, let's not talk about fucking Kibo.
Kibo was sweet. I don't want to hear it.
No, it wasn't.
Kibo's terrible. But no, I mean, this is definitely sweet. It's interesting. I like it.
Yeah,
It's
man.
cool. It wins through combat. Generally, don't see that much.
Yeah.
So.
The next card I want to talk about. This card was a very new ad. I added
March
it maybe
of the Black Gate.
no.
Oh shit.
I added it maybe 2 weeks ago. No, it's probably I think it's been like a month at this point since I've last
Okay.
added this card. But it's Nayali, Sun's Vanguard. So it's a
That's the one for the precon, right?
yeah, it is a 4-mana 3/3 legendary creature human rebel. Attacking tokens you control have double strike.
Okay.
That's
I
nice.
like that.
That's nice.
I like
yeah,
that.
and
That's
then
nice.
there's one other relevant part to the card. One or more tokens you control attack a player, exile top card. During any turn you attack with a token, you may play that card.
That's
It's
right.
attack. I didn't know that.
So-
Yeah, it's attack.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's quite good.
So you get extra card advantage on top of doubling the power of your big ass sword, which I think is reasonable.
Yeah, I agree. And can still tutor it with Sisay, so I can see it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, man. All right, this final card is probably one of my favorite cards of all time. Of course, we've got my favorite card, fucking Thumbtack, to the board up there. But this is probably my second or third favorite card, and this card is Visions of Dominance.
Oh my God.
This
Jace will
card.
not shut up about this
Fucking
card.
card,
This
bro.
card. I remember whenever the fucking Midnight Hunt precons came out, these were so bad.
They're still
the,
bad.
The red one's not horrible.
This
It's
one's
not
good. What
good
are you
it's
either.
talking
not
about?
great.
It destroy a bunch of artifacts, makes treasure
No,
tokens.
not destroy a bunch. Destroy 3 artifacts.
That's
at,
dumb.
At most.
What the hell?
No, but this card is actually good in this deck, right?
In this deck, it's good. What does it do? What does
Alright,
it do?
it is a 3-mana sorcery. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature, then double the number of 1/1 counters on it. Then it's
Okay.
got flashback for 8 and 2 green, and it costs X less,
something, yep.
where X is the number, the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or the
So it's
command
minus 3.
So it's
So
minus 3.
zone. So yeah, it costs 5 mana to
That's
flashback.
not bad.
That's not bad.
But
And
they,
I mean,
I don't-
I wonder what token you're going to be targeting. With.
Yeah, well, I wonder where those counters
Yeah, where
are
those
going.
counters
We're
are
doubling.
going. So you in this deck you get a big old army, and then like even if your army's at 8, oh well shit, now I have a fucking 20/20, right?
Now
no,
it's at
18/18.
Yeah.
Like it's just the cases are just it takes a small army to a
It's
lethal
true.
threat.
That's true.
And then the flashback is nice if your army gets dealt with, and you can just do it
Yeah.
again.
I
At that
haven't-
point, you should be able to take someone out.
I haven't seen a deck that really runs it this well. Maybe on like a Colonian Hydra.
Yeah, that was that
Maybe
shit that
maybe
happened
like
to me.
Bright
in League.
Palm.
Bright
These-
Palm, that
Yes.
might
Yeah.
actually be pretty good.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So this
I-
card
I
was
like
in
it.
this
I
card
like
was in
it,
my
okay.
Pure and Toothy deck that I took apart. I was struggling.
Ooh.
I was looking through the
I can see
remnants,
that
and I
too.
saw Visions of Dominance in the remnants. I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking for playables to finish up this deck. It'd be cool. And then I saw it, and I played with it, and it just it turned out way better than I thought it was ever going to.
Okay.
So
I like it.
one of my favorite decks I've ever built, and some of my favorite cards I've ever put to use.
And in 2 weeks it'll be something else.
God fuck. I hope not. All right. So
Awesome.
Probably not.
what did we learn, guys? What did we
Probably not.
learn from
I'm
today's
old.
episode?
We learned that Derreck was old.
Very old.
Derek's very old, right?
That
Very old.
we all got into magic for different things,
Yeah.
and that we don't know how to start these episodes.
Yeah.
No.
The beginning
What
was
do you mean?
a giggle
The
fest.
beginning was one shot.
That's right. We
Uh-huh.
did it
just
in one
went
with
take. The other
nothing.
ones were just for fun.
One take.
Don't look on the Patreon.
There's
No.
No, they're gonna. Well,
No,
they're never
we're
gonna see it.
we're gonna cut it all out
Editor?
in post. We're gonna cut it out in post, right?
Cut out the intro.
Cut out. it was only one. It was only one chance. Right? It was only one shot.
Only one shot.
Don't show them the other ones.
We just
Definitely
we
one
shotgun
shot.
this shit, bro.
Definitely one shot. But yeah, so I mean,
All right.
you know, little intro.
That's us.
Get to
That's
know
This
us.
is
Yeah.
Kitchen Table Cable.
We're three friends, three guys,
Three
Central
guys.
Texas. You know, looking to
do the thing.
go on. What'd you? Sorry.
Go on the greatest
greatest
adventure
The greatest
of their
adventure
lives.
of our lives.
We sound like hobbits now. Speaking of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, man. We got that poster, bro. I don't think any
I don't
other
think they can
content
see
creator
it.
has these posters.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
they
see
can
it. You
see
can
it.
see it
It's
behind,
right
you can see it
behind
behind your head.
You know,
Right?
I can't see it.
Guys,
You can't see it, but that's just because you don't have your glasses on.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But yeah, so episode 1 pilot. Hopefully not too bad.
We did it.
We did
Yeah.
it.
We did it.
We did
We're
it.
starting.
But
We're
Tune
going.
in. Tune in next time
Tune in next time.
when we get our shit
on
together.
Dragon Balls.
See,
wait,
All right.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe. Anyway, so
Anyways,
check the description down below. We'll have all of our socials, right? Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff.
all the channel things, all the information you should need to support us, either on Patreon,
Email,
on
whatever.
YouTube. The easiest way to do that is liking and subscribing.
Yeah.
And maybe telling
Sure.
us how you got into Magic in the comments down below.
Or what kind of content you might want to see.
Yeah, and anything you might want to see. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. I've been Rafa. This has been
You've been wait.
I've
You've
been
been
Rafa.
Rafa. Okay,
He
have you been
wasn't a
somebody
couple
else?
weeks ago.
Have you been somebody else at some point too?
I've stolen many an identity.
Okay.
This has been NPR News.
Shit. Now we're.
God, fuck.
Thank you for watching.
I'm
I'm
Rafa.
Rafa.
Everybody, we'll catch you next time.
Catch you next time.
Catch you next time.
Derek,
I'm also Rafa.
we're all Rafa.
We're all
We're
Rafa.
all Rafa.
We're all
We're
Rafa.
all Rafa.
We're
In the
all
fact
Rafa.
that we are not.
Oh my god.
Damn it,
We had to
Jase.
cut that part out anyway because of the stuttering.
God damn it.
Bye.